Good evening and welcome, or good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to episode 195 of Dude and the Monkey. As always, I am joined by...
Matt Foster, hello everybody.
And my name's Ian Loring. I messed up the order there. I'm having to re-record this, so yeah. Right, this week, it's the Resident Evil films. We just kind of decided to do them a few months back, and now we have to go through with it.
yeah. It's a strange one, that, in the fact that it's one of those where we looked at it and went, well, I don't think there's anything else out that weekend, and then it turns out there kind of was, but we've done it anyway.
Yeah. You know, there were previews of Lego Batman this weekend. We could have reviewed Lego Batman, but
yeah,
no.
Gold was out, and I'm going to go and see Gold in the midweek. So
Yeah, Gold, Tony Erdmann, or even, 3-hour German comedy supposed to be amazing. So
yes. But no, we're one of the few podcasts in the world who are covering the Resident Evil movie. I even noticed that Kermo tweeted out saying about what's your favourite movie out this weekend. I think it was Kermo anyway, and Resident Evil wasn't even on the list.
Even though he actually thought this one, he was like, it's rubbish, but I had quite a fun time watching it.
We'll get to that one. We'll get to that one later on. The phrase "it's rubbish, but I had quite a fun time watching it" could almost describe the Resident Evil movies as a synopsis of the whole thing.
Yeah, I think that most of them, anyway. We'll get there. So, time dependent. We'll also do some what we watched as well. I think next week we'll be back.
I'll be honest. I have not watched anything else of the Resident Evil movies.
Fucking hell. Okay, fine. I've got a couple of things I could go through quickly. One question: are we reviewing Lego Batman? Because 50 Shades Dark is out next weekend, so obviously we're reviewing that.
Obviously reviewing that, yes.
Okay, I might just talk about Lego Batman later.
Yeah, you can talk about Lego Batman later on, yeah. And if I do go and see it, well, I'll end up talking about it again as well anyway. Okay, that's the worst that can happen, isn't it?
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, it'd be good to get back to a regularly scheduled show next week, to be fair. So
yes.
Yeah, okay. So we'll get on to Resident Evil in a sec. Anything been happening or any trailers? To be honest, I don't think much has actually happened in the movie world this way. I mean, Denis Villeneuve's doing a new Dune.
Yes, which is cool. I saw some people saying, I wish he'd just stick to sort of doing original pieces. And I'm looking at it going, no, I wish he'd just make great fucking movies, which he's doing. The thing is, he's not remaking David Lynch's Dune. He's doing his version of the popular book series Dune. It's that. It's like somebody saying, why did what's his name remake Roman Polanski's Macbeth? Well, no, it's doing a film version of the same fucking story.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it at all. I mean, yeah, he's doing Blade Runner, but it's like I really want to see his take on Blade Runner.
I want to see his take more on Blade Runner than I would like to see Ridley Scott's take on Blade Runner now.
Agree. And I want to see his take on Dune as well. So why not? He'll get his original projects in at some point. I think the guy is still pretty young, so let's just kind of chill it out and fuck, man. I mean, like Ridley Scott, he puts something out pretty much every year at this point, or like 18 months at this point, doesn't he? And it kind of feels like Villeneuve's on that kind of trajectory. And
it does. It seems like he's grabbing the bull by the horns and going, do you know what? All that this takes is me to have one bad movie, and I might not get offered the chance to make these movies every year. So, rather than becoming one of those autorial directors who does something every 3 years, every 5 years, or there's one every 2 years, and then doesn't make one for 8 years and stuff like that. He's going, do you know what? Bang, 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 bang. Why not? It's as long as we get good films out of it, as long as the quality doesn't decrease, or he doesn't crawl up his own arse, or if he does crawl up his own arse, if what's there is gold, then I'm fucking fine with it.
Yeah, straight up, agreed. Yeah, I'm very excited. Well, casting's going to be interesting. You could kind of see Ryan Gosling doing a Kyle MacLachlan, even though maybe he's a bit old for that part. Maybe,
yeah. The thing is, June's probably the least at least watched of the Lynch film, of my Lynch film, well, of Lynch films that I've watched, to be honest. And it's not because I don't like it. I quite enjoyed it last time I watched it, but I do find it quite a hard watch. It's very hard sci-fi, and I'm not. I previously wouldn't have counted myself as a hard sci-fi kind of guy, whereas Dune very much is. So
Yeah,
I think I'm very much due at a rewatch.
Your Dune a rewatch.
Yeah, I'm due a rewatch. Yes, I will get to it.
I thought it was funny.
I'm laughing.
Yeah, well, I don't know why, but bless you for doing so. All right, so trailers. I've maybe got one or two. Yourself?
I've got none.
Go on,
None.
go for it.
None. I've got none.
Oh, none. Okay.
I've not watched one.
Okay. I watched the trailer.
I meant to, then didn't.
Yeah, you've had a busy one. I watched the trailer for Headshot, which is the Iko Uwais, however you pronounce his name. Film,
Yes.
which is apparently arriving worldwide on the 3rd of March. I don't know.
Is it a Netflix one?
No, it's not. That's you'd immediately think it was with something like that, but it says at the end of the trailer arriving worldwide. But it looks. I'm assuming it's a kind of like a big VOD release. To be fair, I don't see this playing in cinemas. I mean, it looks fairly generic, in all honesty. I mean, it's basically he's an amnesiac who gets a blow to his head one day and then starts remembering things, and yeah, like he was trying to live a peaceful life and now he can't because he's Jason Bourne, basically. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it. You know, Friday night, few beers, why not? But that's about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Super Bowl spots kind of come out like overnight tonight over here, but I watched the spot for Ghost in the Shell, which looked pretty much the trailer but cut down. It's kind of stunning that it's a Super Bowl spot and it's got the shots of her in that kind of flesh suit.
Yeah.
You know, that's surprising. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Ghost in the Shell, man. It's either going to be an unmitigated disaster or something really interesting. It's not going to be in between, I don't think.
No, I have faith that it's going. I'm choosing to have faith that it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, it kind of feels like Scarlett Johansson wouldn't be doing it if there wasn't something there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because she can pretty much do whatever the fuck she wants. So, you know, hey.
And do you know what? I don't think enough gets made of how Scarlett Johansson kind of creeps along in all the Marvel movies. Never bleats about wanting her own movie or anything like that. She gets on with it, but then she also nips off in between to do really fucking interesting shit. And she quietly kind of just is one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. Not one of the biggest female stars in Hollywood. One of the biggest stars in Hollywood and one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood without anybody ever making a big deal over it. It's really quite bizarre.
Yep. Okay, so should we do it?
Let's go. Let's get evil.
Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil. What year was this? 2000?
2002.
2002. Right, 2002. Okay, yeah. So this one is directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Stars Mila Jovovich, Michelle Rodriguez, Eric Mabius, James Purefoy, Colin Salmon, and others. So story is Alice, played by Mila Jovovich, wakes up in a mansion, no memory of anything, sees some photos around suggesting she's got a husband. This kind of team come in and kind of tackle her, and this cop guy played by Eric Mabius kind of pops up out of nowhere. And it turns out that the mansion is actually like a secret cover for the entrance to the Hive. And in the Hive, the Red Queen, the Hive security system, has gone mad and has basically killed everyone after an outbreak of the T virus. But has she gone mad, or is she actually trying to save everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to do that, basically. So, Resident Evil. Paul W.S. Anderson coming off of Event Horizon?
I think it was Event Horizon. I think it's his film after Event Horizon.
Yeah, so it kind of makes sense.
No, Soldier. It was.
Soldier was after Event Horizon.
Yeah, but 97 Event Horizon, then Soldier, and then Resident Evil.
Oh, okay.
Which of course Soldier bombed massively, if I remember correctly. Kurt Russell movie.
Yeah, he doesn't say a single word in that, does he? I've never seen it, but I like. Isn't there something like he
very
literally
very little?
Yeah, okay, that's yeah.
I can't remember that well. I remember thinking it was all right. It's not terrible. It's all right. Which means if I'm saying it's not terrible, it's all right. It's probably fucking awful.
Yeah. Let's be honest there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it came at a time where, Paul W.S. Anderson had done Mortal Kombat, which was, at that point, probably the best received video game film yet.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yes, yeah, it was Remy, yeah.
Yeah, and it came at a time in the Resident Evil games where I think it was after 3, before 4, maybe after Code Veronica as well. And it was before. It was interesting. It was before Resident Evil became more action horror as opposed to survival horror in the games. But you see that kind of way like that kind of path in the game starting with this film here, because while there are elements of horror, and I mean, like the opening sequence is pretty, I mean, it's kind of sanitized for a rating, but it is, there's some kind of like, ugh, bloody hell kind of stuff in it, like the lift bit. Like the inevitability of that, and just like the whole drowning a load of people in the labs and get like just mass death around. It's definitely got those horror inflected sensibilities, but then it becomes more actiony as it goes on, and by the end of the film, where it's Mila Jovovich in Raccoon City pumping a shotgun, it pretty much sets the direction for where the rest of the series is going to go there. I mean, what did you think going back to it, Mark?
Going back to Resident Evil, it's a film, and as a series, it's a film series that Bex really enjoys. So I've watched it quite a bit over the years, Resident Evil. Going back to it, it's a weird way. It's aged, certainly, in a lot of ways, in the ways the CGI and everything like that. It looks, it's certainly showing its age, but there's also a lot of really quite interesting bits in it. The fact that you've got the music throughout it, which is partially done by Marilyn Manson. It isn't just the score isn't just music. There's sounds and there's noises, and it's done there to add atmosphere. And I remember watching a documentary about the music making of Resident Evil, talking to Marilyn Manson, and he said when they brought him on board, they said, "We want you to do that. We just want you to do like a soundtrack for it." And instead he started saying, "Oh, what I'd like to do is I'd like to sort of watch the film and sort of come up with like bits and little sound beats and almost do like a score for it. That's the entire movie. It's like one piece of music and have it so it's not just music, it's sound effects. And so a lot of it, the sound effects are actually part of the actual score, which is really quite an interesting way to look at something. It is very much sort of setting up a character. It's strange going back to it now when you've watched all the other movies, though, because you do start to realise that although the entire Resident Evil series was written by one guy, if you were to actually try and tie it all together, there's a lot of holes in there that aren't quite filled in, and a lot of things kind of just change. Like Paul W. Anderson hasn't actually watched any of the movies when he's written the next one, and then when he's written the next one, he hasn't watched it.
I actually said on Twitter after watching the last one, I mean, we'll get to the last one, but it does kind of seem like he has literally read the synopses for the first 5 and then just gone ahead and written the 6th one. Like, yeah. It's ridiculous. But I mean, the story here is fine, and it's I think it's budgetary, but it's contained. Yeah, and there's not a lot of sets. That there's not really that much action. I mean, you got the corridor sequence, which, in all fairness, in shooting would have essentially been people jumping about.
Yeah, it's and Paul has a habit of sort of kind of doing that a lot of time with his action. It's very much they're very much set in a small space. He's had a habit of doing that across a lot of his films, and that's what he's done here. It's kind of claustrophobic action, which works quite well. It's quite effective.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think it actually helps the story. It doesn't hinder it. It is one of those things where budget has actually probably contributed to a film's what there is of a film's success. I mean, also you got Mila Jovovich, who is a really solid action heroine in the later films, but in this one she doesn't get as much of that to do. But she does fine as the amnesiac woman who finds herself in the middle of this shit and has to try and keep up. I think she does well there. I mean, arguably, Michelle Rodriguez was probably the bigger star at the time.
Absolutely. I mean, Michelle Rodriguez was coming off the back of Fast and Furious, wasn't she?
Yeah, quite. So, I mean, so it's it's kind of interesting what their roles are here. Also, Eric Mabius, where the fuck has he gone?
Well, yeah, that's it. Because there was for a couple of years, from 1999, where I think he was in Cruel Intentions, or am I remembering that wrong? He was doing quite a lot.
He was in one of the Crow sequels, wasn't he? He was
Crow's Salvation, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He was actually the Crow in one of them.
He's done nothing.
Yeah.
He must be a TV thing. The L Word, he was in that for a while.
Okay.
And that's strange that, because I would have. Oh no, he was in Ugly Betty. For 85 episodes.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right.
A TV show that literally everybody talked about for the first 7 episodes and somehow ran for like 4 series, despite the fact that I don't think anyone watched it.
Yeah. No, I mean he's fine. He's a bit of a wet blanket, but that's kind of what his character is.
Right. There's a point though, right, where he's handcuffed in front of him, right, or behind it. Anyway, he's handcuffed. Let's say, right. And he's been led around by Michelle Rodriguez doing the face that's made her famous, that's sucking in and looking angry, and somebody who is so aching for people to think she's tough. He's with her and another guy, and every time I watch it, I think, how does he get up there? He's sat on one of the big crates.
Yeah.
But it's way too high up for him to have just sat on it. So, did they lift him up and put him up on there?
They put him on the launch step.
He literally is. He's so high. He's like, did they have to lift him up? He's a big guy. It's such a bizarre way for him to be sat. And it's like, you can imagine that the DOP or Paul Lewis Anderson's gone, I want you stood down, you sat on there, and no one's gone, how would I get up here?
Oh, nobody cares. This is just the kindling to the roaring fire that is Paul W.S. Anderson's lack of care for anything that makes sense. It's
yeah. Right. What we're doing, the corridor bit. Great sequence, used quite well throughout the entire thing. However, surely it is just more
efficient
if it just does the square bit at the first place.
Yeah. I mean, it's brilliant, but it is like the Red Queen's just taking the piss though, which kind of does feed into the character of that thing.
Yeah. Because what's his name? Colin Salmon wins. He beats it. He deserves to survive.
Yeah.
And then she acts like a dick.
No, but I mean, that's it. I mean, it's just like, right, I'm going to make you do all this stuff. It's like a bleep test. Then at the end, it's like, oh, fuck it, I don't care. It just...
just loads of beeps.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's, but No, brilliant. And I mean, like the the kind of slicing effects. I mean, still looks good today. That's still.
It does, yeah. The little leaking eye bit.
Yeah. No, it's very effective. But that's the thing. You've got that bit in maybe the first 20 to 30 minutes of the film, and then you've got Mila Jovovich like karate kicking the dog, which is great.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then you got like the train bit at the end, and then in between that you've got the odd bit of zombie action, and
But a lot
then
of it's just walking around.
a lot of it is walking around and talking and like who's actually the bad guy here, and it's like yeah, okay, it's of course it's James Purefoy.
Yeah, yes, of course it is.
Even though I do like his intentions though, that he is basically a guy who just wants to give his woman what she wants, but
Yeah.
also like sell out everybody for a lot of money, which again is a point which is completely obliterated by the events of the sixth film. I mean, oh God,
Yeah.
we'll get to the sixth film, but it's like Paul W.S. Anderson forgot he even made this one. Fucking hell. Yeah, but I think for what it is,
Mid-budget.
it's a good mid-budget action horror, nothing more,
Yeah,
nothing less.
that's it. It's. I mean, if we do it on our scale of what we do it on, I think it's definitely not shit.
Yeah.
It's not. It's still quite entertaining. As well, one thing that I think is pretty consistent about the Resident Evil films is they never outstay their welcome, really.
Oh,
They're all
the longest one is what, like 98 minutes or something?
exactly, yeah. They're all between 92 and 98 minutes, which for these type of films is the perfect amount of time they're supposed to last.
I mean, I think the fifth one is like 78 minutes before credits. The fifth one is really short. No, absolutely. They don't go on for like over 2 hours and try and be epic or anything. They're just in and out, knows what it is, done.
Well, I think this and the final one are the longest of the movies, and this one's 96 minutes.
Yeah, about an hour 40. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The shortest is actually Apocalypse at 89 minutes. The next one.
The thing is, I think Retribution's actually got longer credits.
I think it could do, yeah. Retribution's 91 minutes.
Yeah, like Retribution, I swear there was like 10, 11 minutes left when that fucker went to credits.
There is because no, it wasn't. It was Afterlife, wasn't it, that used the same cameras as
as Avatar.
As Avatar, which was actually in the fucking trailer.
Oh yeah, no, that was actually a selling point at the time, wasn't it? God,
yeah.
What a fucking weird time.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, no, definitely not shit. It's actually kind of worth a revisit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it would have been interesting to see what Romero would have done with this. Sure. I don't think it would have lasted to 6 movies if Romero had touched it. It'd have been one, really, and that'd have been it.
Well, fuck, I mean, Romero managed to do 3 of the Dead films while these films were going on. God fucking hell, Survival of the Dead was a thing, wasn't it?
Survival of the Dead was a thing, yeah.
Jesus.
I didn't like Land of the Dead, though.
Land of the Dead is fine, man. Land of the Dead is perfectly decent. Diary of the Dead is a crock of fucking bollocks.
Yes.
And Survival of the Dead, I bet... Was there a cow in Survival of the Dead?
There was a cow, yeah.
Yeah, no, I seem to remember that. Fuck it. God, that is so weird that Romero actually made 6 of the Dead films.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Survival of the Dead, that's a fucking terrible movie.
No, yeah, oh God.
I think that's a terrible movie.
Diary of the Dead. So fucking remember seeing that in the cinema and being really excited, and then that was what that was. I don't know. Maybe I'll rewatch it sometime. But anyway, can you imagine? I mean, because that film was very in full of technology at the time. Can you imagine how outdated that fucker is going to be now?
Oh God, yes. Because it's all like YouTube shit like that, isn't it?
Facebook and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's very strange. We were just talking about George A. Romero. It's actually his birthday today.
Oh well, I just bless him, but why did he have to go and do that?
Yeah, that's it. He's one of those, isn't it? He's made some great and fantastic movies, and then he made some just not.
Have we ever talked about Knight Riders on the show?
Yeah, we did. We covered it, didn't we? We did our George A. Romero
We
marathon.
fucking did as well, didn't we? Jesus Christ, that must have been a long time ago.
That was a while ago. It was one of our early ones, that one.
Yeah, fucking hell. Right, anyway, let's carry on. Resident
Yes.
Evil Apocalypse 2005.
Four. Yeah.
Four. Okay. Directed by Alexander Witt, who's like a second unit director of note.
Yes.
But he's stepped up behind the camera here. Written by Paul W.S. Anderson, the first of the two films that he didn't actually direct. And starring Mila Jovovich, Sienna Gilroy, Jared Harris, who I forgot was in this.
I forgot he was in it.
Is Ian Glenn in this one? No. No,
Yes.
he's in it towards the end, isn't he?
Yeah, very briefly.
Yeah, okay. Fucking Mike Epps, is that his name?
Yes.
He's in this. I'm doing this from memory. And others.
Order Fair.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, he is in this, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is basically the virus is now out in Raccoon City, and Dr. Charles Ashford, who is the inventor of the T virus for this one, is kind of ferried out of Raccoon City, but his daughter Angela is still within the city's boundaries. He makes a deal with Alice, find his daughter, and he'll get her safe passage out of Raccoon City. She teams up with Mike Epps' character, Sienna Gilroy's Jill Valentine, and Oded Fair's Carlos Oliveira. Is that his name?
That's the right name, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good stuff. And goes on from there. So, Resident Evil Apocalypse. They've obviously got a bigger budget. So there is wider scope. And they're being tracked by a Nemesis, which is an Umbrella created thing, which is basically looking to kill all the good guys. And Nemesis may have a connection to, well, it may be one of the it's the wet guy from the first one,
Eric Mabius, yeah.
It's not Eric Mabius in the costume though, is it? Because
no,
because what would be the point of that? It's like literally an eye. Right. First off, love the fact that Nemesis is a practical costume. Hate the fact that it kind of looks shit. I don't think he looks very good.
He doesn't look that threatening, does he?
No.
He looks a little bit like you'd imagine one of Donald Trump's party thinks that a gay bouncer looks.
That's a very specific example. I like it.
It's true when you think about it. It does. It's. There are a few, and I know that it's based on a computer game, so they've got to take it from the computer game. But throughout the entire series, there are a few of the bad guy characters that you look at and go, "You're not threatening. You just look weird. You just look weird. You look like you're out of one of those crap new metal bands videos."
Well, this was a time of new metal.
It was a time of new metal, yeah. I believe that Evanescence, the band, are actually in this movie as zombies. No, infected. They're not zombies. They're all referred to as infected.
Okay, alright, fine. I mean, one of the things that I like about the Resident Evil films is that they do switch things up a lot. You've got a change of locales. It's not... The overall T-virus stuff is the same thing over again, but the actual specifics of the stories aren't really the same thing over again an awful lot. Maybe that does creep in later on, but certainly this is very different from the first. Is very different, and the second is very different from the third. The third different from the fourth. And I appreciate that about this. This is a mission film. This is we have got a something to get, and then we have to get that thing out. It's Resident Evil's escape from film.
Escape from, yeah, it is absolutely.
It's Escape from Raccoon City essentially.
Yes.
But I mean, Sienna Guillory is the fucking worst.
Yes.
Everything about her is bad.
Yes, the achingly early noughties outfit she's wearing is just... You're looking at it going, do you know what? That's so impractical for everything you could be doing right now.
It is. I think it basically is the costume that the character wears in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
It is indeed, yeah.
So there is that, but she looks out of place. Like right from the start, that intro of her in the police station, it's just like, what the fuck is this?
She seems in a world where we're watching a film whereby a virus has been let loose by a global mega power, and you have a bunch of mutants running around. She seems almost cartoonish in the start of this movie, and like you're going, do you know what? I don't believe she's real.
It's like Last Action Hero, where
it is. Yes.
She is Arnold Schwarzenegger in the real world in Last Action Hero, where it's just like, how does anyone
that police cop? You expect that police captain to shout Valentine like he does Slater in every single trailer for Last Action Hero.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. I don't know. She's really, really rough in this, and she doesn't get any better. But I don't know. I mean, like Oded Fair and Mike Epps, I think have a good little different energies thing going on. I quite enjoy the two of them.
I always quite enjoy Oded Fair. I think he's always quite a charismatic guy to sort of spend time with. He seems like he'd be a good pint.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I don't know. There's just I don't have an awful lot to say about this one, to be honest.
Do you know why you don't have an awful lot to say about this one? Because it's a bit crap.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just there's not really. It's a lot of stock characters with one of the main people being killed off every 15-20 minutes or so. And then the ending is this weird. She gets through to Nemesis, and then he turns on Umbrella, and what? And then you've got the ending, which is the first of like 3 or 4 endings in a row where they set up something to happen in the next one, and then it's almost like there was supposed to be one in between.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't, and then they just skip straight. It's like there should actually be 9 of these films.
Yeah.
But there's only 6, and they just cut out every other one.
Yeah.
Because skip to the end. The ending of this film sets up quite an interesting third one where there's a traitor in their midst, but it's the lead. And, that is an interesting idea. Dropped.
Just gone.
I mean, the third one, oh God, I mean, I'm skipping ahead slightly, but this is just an overall point. The end of the third one and the start of the fourth one, Alice was going to go and meet them all, but then she just, rocks up in Tokyo with all her crew. I mean, I suppose there is a continuation aspect there, but then the fourth to the fifth one, what even happens at the end of the fourth one? I only watched it Thursday.
End of the fourth one is the White House one.
Isn't that the end of the fifth one?
No, that's the end of the fifth one. And the fourth one is they go to what is it? Arcadia.
Oh, they're on the ship.
On the ship.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then you've got
And then
that,
all
and then
that
the
is it.
fifth
And
one
then
literally plays out what happened over a credit sequence, and then it's into a completely different fucking film. And then the fifth one to the sixth one,
Yep.
it genuinely feels like you've missed a film.
Yes. It is. There's the continuation within these movies is bad.
And I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know. We'll get to the other ones, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't like I say. I don't have an awful lot to say about this one. Very forgettable.
No. I think it's shit. I think it's my least favourite.
It's my second least favourite.
It is indeed, isn't it? Yes.
Okay, so let's do it then. Resident Evil Apocalypse, directed by Russell Mulcahy.
Extinction.
Extinction. Sorry. Yes, I get the two mixed up. Directed by Russell Mulcahy, 2007.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the year I started working at the cinema. This was playing just as I started working there. I remember that. So this one has a lot of returning cast, but you also add in Ali Larter and Spencer Locke as Kmart.
Fucking hell, don't even decide on that.
I mean, like, seriously, that scene where it's just like, I didn't like my old lane. I just thought I'd start again.
So they found me in a Kmart, so I'm called Kmart. It's like, right, okay, it's an interesting story idea. But then when in the next movie when they're shouting Kmart, it's like, oh please, it stopped having any fucking meaning at all now. It's just like nails on a fucking chalkboard.
Agreed. So, story in this one, the T-virus has dried up the world, which is impressive.
It's because it's killed all life forms, not just human life. It's killed all life forms, which of course has meant that because there's all the life forms there, everything is starting to dry out.
There we go. So, essentially, it gives them an excuse to do Resident Evil Mad Max.
Yes.
Which is, I actually think is okay.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yeah. I don't hate this one.
I really actually quite like it.
Yeah. I gave it 2.5 on Letterboxd. I'm kind of tempted to bump it up.
I think I'd have that as a 3. It ups the kind of the ridiculousness a little bit in this one. The fact is, she's now got powers, and I quite like the fact that she's got powers that she can use. I like all of the kind of ridiculousness of it all. I like the fact that it's set in the desert. It's a different kind of setting, and that by this one she's embraced her badassery. So she's very much on board with the fact that I'm a badass.
Yeah, I mean, and they drop the whole amnesiac, like, who am I, what's my story kind of thing, which they kind of bleed it back into it later on. And this one is a straight action film.
Yeah, and as well, they upgrade her. Did you notice in this one? So she's now when she recounts what she used to do, she used to be head of security for the Hive, and it's like, we only watched this 2 movies ago. You weren't head of security. Stop making yourself sound like you're more important. You essentially were stationed at an access point for the Hive. You weren't head of security, you fibber.
Well, fucking hell, dude. By the end of the fucking franchise, she's the head of the corporation. So
I know. It's insane.
Yeah, she gets some good promotions through this franchise.
She's bullshit away at the top, hasn't she?
Yeah, no. It's fucking... God's sake, Paul W.S. Anderson. What the fuck? I love it.
Yeah. It's a great. This is it. No, it's not. It's Russell O'Connor.
No, but I mean, like, he wrote it.
He wrote it. Yeah.
I have a weird respect for a man who just does not give a fuck about his own continuity with a franchise where you imagine the big fans of Resident Evil probably are fuming about the continuity in this. But he's just like, fuck it, I just want to do this, so...
He's never played a Resident Evil game, has he?
No, it would seem like it.
If you sat him down and went and said, have you ever played a Resident Evil game? He'd go, oh, what? Like, a Resident Evil game. Are they based on games?
Yeah. I was wondering
Oh,
what Capcom was.
Yeah. Would you not think to Google it? What? Oh, fuck.
I thought I invented this.
Yeah, I'm sure I wrote all of these.
Oh, it's funny. But no, I mean,
Have you played the games? Yes, love. Oh, just me then.
because I mean that's yeah, no, cool. I mean that's because that's the weird thing about these films. Though the first one, T-Virus, Raccoon City, Umbrella, that was kind of all it had to do with the games.
Yeah.
And then the second one brings in a couple of characters, and then this one kind of backs away from that, even though you have got Chairman Wesker.
One of the worst characters in movie history.
Right, yeah, okay. So, Wesker. He's not in this one much.
No.
And Ian Glenn is the main antagonist in this one. That's fair to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Dr. Sam Isaacs, the who is under Wesker's control in this movie.
Yeah, no, we've got to keep an eye on that, haven't we? He is Chairman Wesker in this.
Yeah.
And he's just like the head scientist who's gone a little bit rogue.
Yeah.
Now, I also big fan of the rogue scientist choosing his hiding spot to essentially be on the roof of one of the buildings in the area that Mila Jovovich is in. That little domey thing. Even though I do like the whole they're watching her through the thing and then they actually like where's she's going, and it's like, oh shit, she's coming right for us. Like I thought that was quite a cool little. It
was quite nice. Where's she gone? Oh god, she's here.
Yeah, I mean, solid reveal. Zombie crows, not bad. I like the zombie crows. Alec Kmart, rubbish. Ali Larter, I like how seriously she's taking it. I'm not sure.
So seriously.
I mean, I'm not sure whether she's any good, but I admire her chutzpah.
Yes, absolutely.
She's really going into it. And you know what? I'm sad that they killed off Mike Epps and Oded Fair.
Yeah.
I could have done with them being in it a bit more. Ashanti, I'm not so bothered about.
Oh god. I think they killed off just to irritate everybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I did like the fact that it was like, right, the two black characters in the film, of course we got to have them be together.
Yes, of course.
I just absolute horse shit. But
I enjoyed a guy who can merely tell what things what are in cans just by shaking them.
Oh, he was solid. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good. He's. Do you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb a little bit on this. This is a solid genre pick.
I'm going to upgrade my letterbox. It is a solid. If this was not connected to any of the other films, I think it would actually still stand up.
And I think it would do as well. Yeah, is it this one or is it the next one where when she's having the battle scene with what's his name, Isaacs, and he can predict what she's gonna do, what moves she's gonna make.
Oh, the predictive combat software.
Yeah,
that's the last one, bud.
Is it? Was the last one?
Yeah, like where like she's gonna go for the thing, and then he's like. Yeah. Saying, "Oh, you're going to go for that, aren't you? Or you're going to go for that."
Is that last one?
I'll tell you, none of them will work. Yeah, that's the last one, but
is it? Fucking, I watched all these in like a day. So
no, I'm trying. This was a treadmill film for me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how it ended. It is a fight between them because he has some T-virusy stuff going on. Oh, that's right. Yeah. They have that fight in like the training facility, so like where all the other Alices are being trained, and then they're in the corridor and he gets sliced up.
Of course, yes. Yeah, he's like, you can't kill me. And she sort of laughs and says, meh, meh, and then he gets sliced up.
Mm-hmm.
And it stops just before her, doesn't
And
it?
just
Yeah.
before he gets to her, that's it. Yeah.
And that's other Alice. It's we thought she was dead Alice that stops it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the one who was doing all right and then ended up dying anyway. And yeah. Because
I do enjoy Mila Jovovich's reactions whenever she encounters another Alice. She reacts like people react. Why the fuck is that me? Why the fuck am I naked? And why have I just died in my own arms?
yeah. No, I mean, and which is interesting because the whole a massive plot point around the last one is how people react to seeing clones of themselves. She kind of takes it in her stride after a minute.
Yeah.
Ian Glenn does not.
No, he doesn't. He's pissed.
Yeah.
He's pissed. His clone's pissed. Everyone's pissed.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's the thing, and the ending breaks it away from the desert landscape. It's like, right, okay, we've had about an hour and a quarter of this desert landscape. It's probably about enough of that. Let's have something different. It paces itself well.
What I'd say is why did he need that many Alice clones? It's like they're literally supposed to show you like thousands. But when he's doing the experiments, he goes, bring out number 85.
Yeah.
Thinking, if you've only got to 85, why have you got a cabinet with thousands in it? Do two at a time.
Well, no, they made 10,000 and they're down to number 85.
Is that what it is? But there's still loads. When she looks.
Fuck, I don't know.
At the end, there's so many. It's a little bit like make them in batches. Do like 100 at a time. Don't make thousands at once. It's just pointless. You're wasting money, and quite literally, your customers are eating themselves outside.
Well, yeah, I mean, this comes to one of the things that really came to mind in the last couple of films, I must say. You know how that person worked out how long the runway had to be for the end of Fast and Furious 6?
Yes.
I really want someone to work out how much Umbrella must have spent on all the technology in these films.
Oh, it's billions.
I mean, what's more like trillions? What is more than trillions?
I don't think there is more than trillions, is there?
Because I think Umbrella are there.
I was thinking about it, thinking, that's an awful lot of money. Could any one corporation get that much money? And then it comes out that Apple just made 78 billion last quarter.
But the thing is, they're selling things.
Yeah.
Apple sell things. Umbrella, this virus comes out. I mean, the last film reveals what the ultimate purpose of it was, but...
Well, yeah, but before that, they did sell kind of consumer goods, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, exactly. It's just... I mean, I don't know. How much they can spend on this shit fucking staggers me.
It is insane, isn't it?
And all through these films, they keep on doing this stuff to continue studying the virus, and in the last one, it's like, well, they just wanted the virus to go out there so they could just burn the world and start again. It's like, that's not what your previous 5 films were saying.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, but no, I mean, it's fun, paced well, looks good.
Yep. Looks nice, yeah. For me, it's a definite shit. I think it's the strongest of them all. I think it does look really good.
Yeah, I'll upgrade it. We need to talk through one of them before I decide my final placings, I think. But yeah, I'm going to go definitely not shit as well. Nice.
Yeah, good. What's your favourite?
Not speaking of which, Resident Evil Afterlife 2010, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, stars Mila Jovovich, Ali Larter, others. Who's in this one?
Wentworth Miller's in there.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? That's right.
Kim Coates is in there.
Kim Coates is in this. Yes, he is.
Kim Coates is so in this.
Yeah, no, he's massively in this.
Gilroy comes back into it very briefly.
Oh, yeah, Boris Kodjoy, is that his name?
Joy, yeah. Sean Roberts comes in for his first stint as Wesker.
Oh, that's right, yeah, he wasn't the one of the third one, was he? Right, Resident Evil Afterlife is still terrible. I was violently opposed to it the first time I watched it. I think there was a Cinerama
There
back in the
was
day.
around that. Was there also a? Did you cover on Heroes?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think you definitely spoke about on Heroes. I remember listening to you speak about on Heroes.
Yeah, okay, that sounds about right. But yeah, okay. If this film was fully in full speed, it would be an hour long. It's
Yeah.
it's fucking. I mean, the thing is, with the fullness of time, you could understand why Anderson was doing this stuff. We've got this tech,
Yeah.
we've got a budget. Let's rinse the shit out of this. And
Yeah.
I fair enough.
They got like an extra 20 million, didn't they, just for putting it in a 3D?
Yeah, I mean, like at the time, the numbers would have made sense though. Like, give them extra budget to do it in 3D and like get some extra effects. It will make X amount more because of it, And I see, and fair play, the franchise has done over $1 billion worldwide.
They've all none of them have not made money. They've all made a pretty consistent amount of money. I think this was the most successful. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was 60 million budget, so the second highest budget of any of the films. Worldwide, 296 million.
Yeah, there you go. Like nearly 5 times its budget. I mean, fair play. I mean, it's a nice little cottage industry that they had going, but it just.
Less than 300 million on 6 movies, with a, as it stands, box office gross of over $1 billion.
That's the way, man.
Yeah. When you look at that, what did last Bond cost? 270 million?
250, 260, yeah.
Yeah. And did it just cost $1 billion or did it just miss $1 billion?
It missed $1 billion. I'm pretty sure Skyfall
so
got $1 billion, but I think Spectre missed it.
Skyfall did $1 billion, yeah. So you've got that there. You're looking at that. That is, it's about the same numbers of 6 movies as you get from a one-off movie.
Yeah.
But of course, it may sound like, well, yeah, but then that's 6 movies it took them to get to that. But you've also got 6 movies worth of TV rights, 6 movies worth of home video rights and things like that. So, you could probably add another 300-400 million out of that. It's an incredibly profitable little series they've had going.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, for me, the trouble starts with this one, where the opening sequence feels like it takes 20 minutes, and it's a slow-mo of a Japan street and the camera panning up a zombie woman.
Yeah, it takes a long time to go. It's Paul W.S. Anderson trying to be arty.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking that this is, oh God, look at this. There's rain, there's neon, there's colour, it's set in Asia. Oh, look at how much autoristic fucking pomp I've got going on. It's like, no, mate, it's not. It's just another Resident Evil movie.
Yeah. Even though.
Bravo for trying.
No, exactly. And I'm sure the rain looked really nice in 3D. I saw it in 3D back in the day. I couldn't tell you a thing about it, but I did. But I think pretty much the only positive I really have to say for the film is I like the score. I think the Tom and Andy score is effective enough. And I even quite like the A Perfect Circle remix at the end, which they used heavily in the trailer as well. I think it matches the tone of the film and what they're going for, and it works for me. The rest of it does not aggressively.
It's it's a really strange movie. It's so ridiculous that you're watching it going, I know that this film is what it is, but why is it this ridiculous? I love the fact that Kim Coates feels like he's from a different movie.
No, I mean, like Kim Coates is just right. This is a shitty action horror film. I'm a sleazy Hollywood producer. Yep, okay, cool, go.
Cool, yeah. Do you want to look at the script? No.
Yeah, no.
Can't need a script.
I've got a Ron Jeremy mustache. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And it's not even explained at the end why he looks like shit. Looking good. I'm fine.
I thought, because no, they don't explain it. I mean, the inference is he got bit or something, but he's just become Wesker's bitch all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You imagine, I want a deleted scene that's that conversation. Like, Kim Coates lands, sees Wesker, and it's like, what? How does that conversation go? Wesker's just like, I see, you're not Alice.
Yeah. I constantly walk around like this, like I'm floating, and I'm doing an impression of Mr. Smith. His character is just. Anytime Alice is in front of him, she should just be going, I'm sorry, you just look ridiculous. Could you please, you're not threatening. You look silly. You look so silly. I mean, why are you always wearing sunglasses? You're not fucking Bonner.
The shot where he's sat on that chair and then the two dogs come out, and then that whole bit happens. Fucking hell, man.
You know, you get people who don't quite get existence, don't quite get life, but are rich and they'll self-finance their own album. Like someone's kid, like one of Trump's kids would self-finance their own album. That would be the cover of it. Would be them sat like that with two fucking dogs at either side, looking. That is somebody who thinks they look really fucking cool.
Yeah, it's a good shout. This is also the start of the great Wesker tradition of jabbing something in Mila Jovovich's neck.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. The thing is, it's all over the place. Like the story, the plot bounces about between locations like an ADD adult child.
Yeah. The whole Chris and Claire Redfield thing. The fact is, at one point when they first announced it and they're all stood there, I was saying to Bex, surely he can see her. He's looking out through the window thing. Surely he can see her. And then it's revealed that Alice steps away from her and she stood there and he's like, Claire? It's like, she wasn't stood there a second ago. She moved. He could have seen her. You know, you make out noticeable faces from that distance. And the whole, I know a way out of here. All right, let me out. Okay, we're going to let him out. Then let him out. And then he just goes, yeah, if you open that, there's a big fucking vehicle in there you can use. It's like, that's not a way out. That's not a way out. That's a big vehicle that they don't even use.
Which they don't even use.
Explain to me, right? There's an armory in the basement. All right. Oh, it's down there. You know, the thing's flooded. All right. So, how do we get down? Where is it? It's right down at the bottom. All right, right down at the bottom. Yeah, we've got to swim down there. And then British Tits comes in and says, well, I used to be a swimmer in high school. It's like, right, we don't call it high school. But anyway, yeah, of course you can come because you used to be a swimmer in high school, which means that you can hold your breath for a really long time and come and get all these weapons. Then they swim down and then manage to swim back up again to a bit that hasn't flooded for no reason at all. And then when they get trapped in there, they go, we can get out through that. Why are you going through that?
There's that. And there's also a tradition which kind of continues, actually, through the films from this point, of zombies or monsters somehow managing to creep up on someone behind them.
Yeah.
You know, which does bother me, actually. Just, it's like, no, I'm sorry, they make loads of noise usually. They're not ninjas. They can't do that. Fuck off.
The big guy.
Sorry?
The big guy with his axe thing.
Yeah, the executioner. Yeah, who I think was from Resident Evil 4.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, this one's just not really any fun.
It's ploddy. It's hard work. It should be. The story, it should be a better film. But it's not.
Because the thing is, the third one is a fun genre piece. The fifth one throws everything up in the air and just goes, fuck it, it's a video game. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
This one is really, really trying to take itself seriously. Really, really badly wants to be serious and cool, and can't really manage it, even though I like the score. Yeah, I
It's not very good, is it?
Ali Larter as amnesiac feral woman, really bad.
Yeah.
And Sienna Gilroy rocks up with the fucking chest thingy. And,
Right. And yeah, this one's a bit shit. Let's be honest. But right, starting with the lack of continuity, right, that runs throughout this. Sienna Gilroy's costume at the end of this movie is different to the one that she's wearing at the beginning of the next movie, and all she's done is jump out of a plane, and they're different. It literally, it is like, why?
That's amazing.
Why are they different? You know, it's not like it's not even that big a difference. It's just like, no, why are they different? And it bugs the shit out of me.
Oh God, absolute horseshit.
It's not good.
And it doesn't want to actually have any fun with itself. Wentworth Miller is. I mean,
Wentworth Miller seems like he immediately regretted signing on to do it.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, he doesn't come back. I mean, the man's a lifetime MVP for me for writing Stoker. He's.
Well, apparently, I remember reading a thing where he was talking about the making of this Resident Evil movie, and was saying about when he got taken on, it was after Prison Break had finished, and they said if you do the Resident Evil movies, and he was going to do a couple, we'll give you the money to make one of these screenplays you've written. And I think it was actually originally a screenplay for what's going to be the Disappointments Room, which I think, did it come out last year or is it coming out this year?
Well, in the US it did, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was that script that were actually giving money, and he was going to make it, but then he had a bit of after this film came out, he had a bit of a mental breakdown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and have you ever seen those images of him where they say celebrities who piled on the pounds, and there's a picture of him and he looks really quite fat.
Oh, really?
Like walking around, yeah. Well, he wrote like a blog post about it, was saying that he essentially he became a recluse, and he became a comfort eating recluse, and all he did was eat essentially to kind of help with his really bad depression that he had, and that's why he didn't end up making any more of the Resident Evil movies, was because he wouldn't essentially venture out of the house. And one of the few times he did get ventured out of the house, the paparazzi took all these photos and talked about how fat he'd got, and that he'd just been sat there living on his prison break money and getting fat. And it wasn't. It was the fact that he had a complete mental fucking breakdown.
Isn't there like a new Prison Break that he's in?
Yeah.
Though, so it kind of seems like maybe he's got his shit
I think
back together. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. He wrote Stoker and sent that off, and it was bouncing around and no one was using it.
He did it under a different name, didn't he?
He did it under a different name, yeah. And it wasn't until Parks and Wood kind of got hold of it and went, "This is brilliant, I'm making this," that they started saying, "Right, we need to out the fact that it's you." And now he's going to be in Prison Break again. He's written a couple of other movies that are getting made, and it's all coming back. But yeah, apparently it was the reason why he did return was because he wasn't mentally fit to.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Well, I mean, he's awful in this, but
it's not great enough.
It doesn't make me feel good saying it. But yeah.
But he admits that he's terrible at it.
No, fair enough. Yeah. Definitely shit.
Yeah.
But like I say, maybe it's just because I don't get as angry about films as I used to. That it I didn't find it insulting, and maybe it's just in the context of these films where they kind of are what they are, I'm kind of comfortable with them as they are. It was like Fast and Furious. Really fucking did not like Fast and Furious when it came out. That film's still rubbish, but I don't hate it with a
Hey.
passion. Like, it's I don't know. There's other shit in the world to fucking direct that kind of anger at anyway. So, um, right, 2012's Resident Evil Retribution.
Yeah.
Um, so this introduces a couple of characters from the first Resident Evil, Barry Burton and Leon S. Kennedy,
Yeah.
um, and then doesn't really do anything with them. The guy who plays Barry Burton's fun though. What's that guy's name?
He is Kevin Durand. Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Durand. I like
I
Kevin
like him
Durand.
in this. I think he's great in this. I could have done with more of him.
Yeah, yeah. The fact that he's just enjoying it all so much, you
Yeah.
don't get that a lot in these films.
The fact that he literally says that at one point as well,
Yeah.
where they say, "Come on, come with us," he's like, "No, I'm going to sit back here. Why? I'm kind of enjoying it." And that's after he's just had his face ripped off nearly. I like Kevin Durant. Whenever I've seen him in anything, he's always a guy that I wish would be in more.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, he's good here. I mean, the guy who plays Leon is a wet blanket, frankly. Even though I do like the little moment he has with Ada Wong at the end, where he like puts his hand on her knee and then she just looks at him like, "What the fuck's that?" Yeah, that's quite entertaining. Yeah. Is it Fan Bing Bing or Lee Bing Bing?
Lee Bing Bing,
Lee
yeah.
Bing Bing. There is a Fan Bing Bing, isn't there?
I think there is a Fan Bing Bing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she's Ada Wong. What's happening in this one? There's a
They're at a training testing facility, aren't they?
Yeah, okay. So there's a backwards sequence at the start, which reveals,
Yeah, which makes no sense.
yeah, with a costume non-continuity, which explains what happened after the end of the fourth one, and what basically happened was. You know that we had all these characters who were around at the end of the fourth one, and we needed to find an easy way to not have any of them be in this one. This is what happened. So, yeah, because Ali Larter's not in this one, is she?
No, I don't think so.
No, and Spencer Locke's gone, never to return. So, yeah. Alice finds herself in a Umbrella training facility. Wesker has to try, is now on her side for some reason, even though he was dead. And oh God, I watched this on Friday. What the fuck happened?
Wesker's on her side with Ada
With
Wong.
Ada Wong, yeah, against the Red
They
Queen.
have got against the Red Queen, and they've got to get out of the facility, the training facility, and meet up with
Leon and Barry
people he
and
sent
whatnot.
to the side. We're going to meet them halfway.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go, and then they're going to bomb the training facility. The training facility that essentially reboots itself all of the time and has loads of clones, different clones coming in that play these characters within it. Yet all of the buildings get blown up. And cars get destroyed. I imagine there is one really fucking pissed off carpenter that works there that's like going every day. Every fucking day I have to rebuild this town.
So this one is Paul W.S. Anderson basically going, right, this one's going to be the one that is a video game.
Yes.
There are levels.
Yeah, there are levels, and there are bosses in those levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also gives an opportunity to bring people back. Which is weird.
For no reason.
Yeah, no, I mean...
It literally is Resident Evil going, how well's your career gone? Oh, want to come back?
Yeah, because I mean, this was Michelle Rodriguez. Where in the Fast films was this? The same year as the year after 2 years. Fucking hell, 2 years after Fast 5.
Yeah.
So
in between Fast 5, which she wasn't in, but it was actually before Fast and Furious 6.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the coming back of Michelle Rodriguez. Slightly started here, but you've got Colin Salmon coming back as well, which is fun.
Yeah.
Even though he is just bad guy.
Yeah.
They don't even like try and repeat the corridor bit with him. The corridor doesn't rock up in this one, does it?
I think the lasers rock up, but not in a corridor.
Okay. Because they're in the first one, they're in the third one, and they're in the sixth one, I think. The
Yeah.
corridor. So, yeah. I quite enjoy this.
I do. It's the fact that it's so computer gamey and different levels and different worlds. It adds to it, and it gives it, the action's really good in it as well, I think, to be honest. There's a lot going on.
That's it. There is a lot going on. It's constantly bouncing around from place to place, except unlike Afterlife, there are things happening.
Yeah.
It doesn't have. Speaking of Afterlife, very quickly, the Mila Jovovich talking to the camera for no fucking reason bits, because it basically needs exposition because there aren't any other characters about. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't like it.
She says, I don't even know who I'm making these videos for. Us, people watching it, that's who you're making it for.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. So.
Where's she charging it in that biplane? Where's she charging it?
Yeah, you have to wonder.
I know you shouldn't be thinking of bits like that, but it's true.
No, the film makes you think about it, though. That's the thing, it does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the whole suburban aspect to it. Even though it introduces Becky, who it is basically let's do aliens.
Yes.
Yeah, which is
yes, quite literally.
It's fucking brutal in how obvious it is. I kind of felt embarrassed for Paul W.S. Anderson, to be honest. Yeah.
Especially as I've heard him say in an interview that Aliens is one of his favourite films.
So I mean, you've even got the they could get out, but then she goes missing, so she's got to try and find her, and fucking whatever. But I would have liked more with Barry Burton for sure.
Yeah.
Him and his guys just kind of having fun was solid. I like the Russia sequence.
Yep.
That was good. I quite like the icy sequence at the end, mainly because Sienna Gilroy gets fucked up.
Yeah, but she's literally kicking the fuck out of Alice before that thing gets ripped off her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the little parasite thing that Michelle Rodriguez shoots into her neck, and then she can just fucking kick everyone's ass. Right? Why don't everyone use that? That seems fucking awesome. Why don't every single one of the soldiers just have one of those implanted into them?
Oh, because those things are just too expensive for Umbrella.
Yeah, just too expensive. Building exact replicas of capitals and constantly restocking them to see what happens when a virus might fucking take hold that's already happened. Now that's money you've got to fucking pump into it.
Yep.
But these things that could literally just replace all of the weaponry you've done, no. We've got to keep those when Michelle Rodriguez needs to fight two guys that she could just shoot. And why only some of the time, right? I get it. We get the interbody shot of the chest, of the ribs breaking and the heart stopping, right? We get two of those, and that guy's arm breaking.
That's also true.
Yeah, why don't we get any other one? Any other broken bone fucking things? It's just those little three incidents.
Yeah. But again, it kind of feels like, because I think, was it one of the Mortal Kombat games did that? And I swear it was around that time. There was there was a Mortal Kombat reboot series that came out, I think in 2010 or so, where they had when you did the fatalities and stuff, it showed the bones breaking.
That kind of makes sense.
Let me fucking Google that real quick. Bone breaking fighting games. Let's see if that brings up anything. Mostly kind of treats. Bone breaking in fighting games. God, was there a Fight Club game?
Yes, there was a Fight Club game.
Fucking hell. What can I Google? Mortal Kombat bone breaking. I'm going down the rabbit hole here. Mortal Kombat bone breaking moves. All X-ray moves. Yeah, it is in Mortal Kombat X. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is totally that. And when was Mortal Kombat X? Because I bet Mortal Kombat X is a blah 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 blah. Right, just tell me the fucking year.
Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, 2015.
Mortal Kombat X didn't come out 2015.
Okay, hang on. What about Mortal Kombat? Like, there was that. Yeah, okay, that was the sequel to the Mortal Kombat reboot. Hang on.
Wow. You can play Freddy Krueger in Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah.
And Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
And an alien. And the Predator. And Leatherface. Yeah. Why haven't I played this game?
I think Mark's about to go and buy the Mortal Kombat games.
I think I might.
No, they were in the old ones as well. Okay, fine. So that's it. I think he is literally just done that. Right, you got to see how much the Mortal Kombat games are on the PlayStation now, I think, because you'll enjoy the shit out of that, I think.
Yeah, I think I might do, actually. I'll have a look. Game, let's have a look.
Mortal... This is really boring for people, but I don't care.
It is, we don't care.
Mortal Kombat, film, characters...
Mortal Kombat X. $27.99.
Oh, you very really?
Yeah. Or Mortal Kombat XL. $14.95.
Oh yeah, that's just the complete edition, like the one with like the DLC and stuff.
Oh, it's only 40. It's only 15 quid. I think I might get that.
Who do you get as fucking?
Includes 9 additional characters.
Oh, who'd you get?
Who do you get? Let's have a look. It doesn't say, but Mortal Kombat X says you get Alien, Casey Cage, Devora, Aaron Black, Farrah, Jacqueline Biggs, Jason Voorhees, Kotal Khan, Kung Jin, Leatherface, Predator, and other ones.
Fuck's sake, Leatherface is in there.
Yep.
That's incredible.
I might actually get that.
Anyway, where were we? But I mean, Mortal Kombat, Paul W.S. Anderson, connected. Fucking hell, Jason Voorhees versus Leatherface, that would be interesting. Or Alien
Carl
versus
Weathers Carl Weathers actually voices it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Carl Weathers?
Yeah, which makes no sense.
Voices who?
I don't know.
Tell me Carl Weathers voices the alien.
No, the Predator.
What?
I don't know, it says here. Downloadable content. Predator Prey Pack includes Predator and Predator-themed skins for Johnny Cage, Scorpio, and skin for Jax with the likeness and voice of Carl Weathers from the first Predator film. So I think Carl Weathers just appears.
How the fuck does that work? Alright, fine. Anyway, massively off track. Apologies, folks, but I think Mark's going to buy Mortal Kombat XL. So, where the fuck were we?
Retribution.
Yeah. Whereabouts in it? Okay, so it's fun.
Becky. Yeah, it is fun. But it's fun. It's not up there with my favourites of them, but I think it's one of the most visually interesting.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Lots of different locales, lots of different action. You got one-on-one stuff. You got more group kind of stuff. The ending works. I mean, the ending is mental. You know, Wesker's in the White House. for some reason. And there's dragons.
There's dragons and literally everything's on fire but the White House.
And then
you think you want to watch that movie?
Yes, you want to watch that movie. So definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit now.
Right, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter is not that movie.
Nope, it's not. It's not even the final fucking chapter.
Well,
but right, there is no way, right, when they set it up all the way through, and we're all spoilers all the time, folks, right? So if you don't want to know what happens then stop, don't listen to this review because we're going to spoil it pretty quickly, right? When you stay from the beginning, but you'll die, and then she actually dies, and then 8 seconds later she comes back to life, and then basically sets up another movie. It's a little bit like, if this movie makes enough money, you're making another fucking movie. Don't pretend you're not.
But the thing is, they'd have to kind of just like do a bit of a spin-off or something, surely, because it's like
Mad Max.
Yeah. I mean, you could just go in.
They already set up a Mad Max-esque fucking convoy in this. The mad fucking preacher.
That's true. I mean,
it's very. It rips off two movies weirdly in this.
I mean, this is the thing. Paul W.S. Anderson, as we've established, doesn't care about the continuity in his previous films. He also doesn't care about the continuity in this one singular film. The voiceover at the start says, "This is the end of my story."
Yeah.
At the end, it's like, I've got more work to do.
Yeah.
It just
makes zero sense.
It's right. So the voiceover at the start of this completely retcons everything that has come before.
Yep. Basically rewrites the history of the franchise.
So,
for no reason.
Dr. Ashford, who the fuck was he then?
Yep.
James Purefoy unleashed the T-virus, but he did it for selfish reasons, not because Umbrella wanted to bring around the end of the world. I mean, Ian Glenn was not around at all for the. I mean, like you said earlier, he's a scientist. He's not the co-head of Umbrella.
Yeah, but now he's the co-founder of the company.
And then at the start of this one, the thing about Wesker needing her help for something is forgotten.
Yeah.
And now Wesker works for
He just betrayed her. Yep.
He was pretty much President Wesker at the end of the fifth one.
He ran the whole thing just a few moments ago.
It's, like I say, I kind of admire how little Paul W.S. Anderson cares. I mean, because nobody cares really. If you care about the continuity of these films, you need to take a look at yourself. Because even the guy who wrote all the films doesn't give a fuck.
Nope.
I mean, the kind of the mysteries that are unveiled in this. The Red Queen was mirrored on Alice, even though it's established in the second film that it was mirrored on Dr. Ashford's child.
First film?
The first film, even. Yeah, quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
But it does actually state in, I think, the third movie that it was that version of the Red Queen. So there are different versions of the Red Queen.
All right, fine.
It does state that. However, why wouldn't the first version of the Red Queen be based on her? If he was the guy who invented Umbrella Corp, or the T virus. It's just the T virus just seems to have become a different thing now in this one.
Well, I mean, to be fair, in the fourth one, it kind of seems like the T virus started in Japan or something, whereas now this one, it like kind of kicked off in a Ferris wheel thing, or like a So yeah, this one wasn't great.
No, it's not really, to be honest. It doesn't seem to know what it's doing. It seems to have been made for the sake of it, but not really have any idea kind of what it's doing. And it's like they're so busy telling you this is it, this is the final chapter, it's the last of the installments, and you get the feeling that there should be a little bit more to it, or it should actually have some kind of closure. Because what actually happens is she doesn't die, she almost dies. She's no longer the T virus in her. But hang on a minute, she's not had the T virus in her in other movies as well. So it's not like the first time she's not had T virus running through her system. T virus has been wiped out now because there's this airborne thing that all she has to do is just drop an antidote on the floor. Well, hang on a minute, they had an antidote before, and that's it. Everyone's going to be cured. Oh, but wait a minute, it actually has to spread around the world to be cured, so not everyone's actually cured yet. Yeah, nothing gets resolved in this movie at all.
Well, I mean,
at all.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like the T virus appears to have been stopped.
They could quite easily rewrite that in another one, so it didn't.
Yeah. That's
what we actually found. What they found was the antidote got less strong as the further it went, and it created a different type of mutation that made the T virus become the T virus plus or the T virus S.
Yeah. Okay.
You could do something like that, couldn't they? Quite easy. Would you put it past Paul W.S. Anderson to do that?
It's a fair point. I wouldn't. So okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you're right then. Nothing is. I mean, like, people can be clones of clones of clones. You never know who's the original person and who's not.
Which clones and stuff like that in movies always makes me want to rewatch the Michael Keaton movie Multiplicity.
That's very good. The action is very whatever. It's more focused on plotty plot than bangy bang. Which is an issue.
However, there are some nice shots. The gasoline fires running down the side of a building is a really nice shot.
That is a lovely shot. Yeah.
Yeah, and a really good idea, and I can't believe nobody's done it before.
Yeah, that is a great idea. No, you're right. I suck, but I don't have a lot to say about this one.
There's really not much to say about it. You know when I was talking about the prediction software thing that Isaacs has? Yeah. Did that remind you of? It might not. I'm kind of hoping in a way you haven't seen this film. The DOA movie.
Oh, Dead or Alive. I have seen it. I couldn't tell you a thing about it, mind.
The end of DOA, Eric Roberts has used a software program to study all of the fighters, and then he wears like some kind of headpiece or something like that predicts their fighting moves, and he has bionic like arms and stuff that will cause him to predict their fighting moves and then actually counteract them.
Nice.
A little bit. So it basically is, so the final of Resident Evil actually rips off the 2006 movie DOA, Dead or Alive, which I think actually was produced by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Have to look that up. Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure it was.
I've got to say, the end of the film goes on for so fucking long. Like, the whole... How is Ian Glenn not dead yet? Like... When like the corridor bit happens, and then she goes up to the surface, and then he just rocks up again.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, how?
I was really hoping this was going to be better, and it wasn't.
No, I mean, it's aggressively not.
No,
Which is
it's
which is a shame, because the last one, I think, got the ridiculousness of it all. And you're right, yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson did produce Dead or Alive.
he did.
It got the ridiculousness of it all. But this one seems to go back to people actually kind of care about it, even though Paul W.S. Anderson doesn't care about it.
No, it quite literally is the hot dog man that follows home around and says, "Lady, he's paying my kids through college."
Yeah.
It literally is that. That's what Paul W.S. Anderson's relationship with these movies is. It keeps him and his wife in work for another year or two, and they can roll in more cash. And it's like, what are they going to do after this?
You have to wonder, don't you? What are they going to do after this?
Yeah. He's a strange director, is Paul W.S. Anderson. And bless him, he's made, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 movies. 12 movies, right? And half of them, a third of them, are Resident Evil movies. But his other movies are things like The Three Musketeers and Pompeii and Death Race and the AVP movie he did, didn't he? Yes. His best 3 movies were his first 3 movies.
God, that's right, he did AVP. That's why he didn't direct the second one.
Yeah.
Because it was almost like he kind of thought he was on for bigger and better things. It's like, I'm going to do Alien versus Predator, which should have been, right, that's it, he's on the up and up now. And it just didn't happen, so he's kind of had to come back to these.
Yeah, because Alien vs Predator was a terrible movie.
But yeah, and I actually kind of forgot it existed until just now, so thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Fucking Alien vs Predator was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh god, an Alien vs Predator Requiem.
Yeah, where I'm pretty sure there's a bit in that where a Predator plays a guitar.
Oh, there's a horrible bit in it where, isn't it like aliens in a fucking maternity ward or something?
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't direct that one though.
No, he didn't. It was the Brothers Strauss, wasn't it?
I think it was, yes.
They did fucking Skylines.
Yeah, it was.
I was conflicted. Yeah.
You liked Skyline, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I like Skyline. Yeah.
That's the only 2 movies they've done.
I don't know where I am with this, whether I'm touching cloth or definitely shit.
I'm touching cloth.
What did I?
Because there are some nice shots, some interesting bits in it, and I wasn't bored at any point. I just think it's a bit naff and a little bit of a letdown. But if in 3 years' time they said Resident Evil, The New Dawn or something like that, then I'd happily go and watch it.
What the fuck else has Sean Roberts been in? Stir of Echoes 2.
Stir of Echoes 2, wow.
God, he was in X-Men.
He was in Get Over It. Was he?
Apparently.
Jumper.
Oh, well, there you go.
Land of the Dead.
Diary of the Dead.
Was he in Diary of the Dead as well?
Yeah, fucking hell.
He was in it, yeah. Yeah, and then not a lot else.
Right, yeah, so, yeah, touching cloth. It's hard to hate it. I don't hate it as much as I did fucking,
Afterlife.
Yeah, so there's that at least.
Yeah, go on then, what's your ranking?
Okay, one best to worst. 1-3-5-2-6. No, 6-2-4.
Mine is 3-1-5-6-4-2.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
There you go, Resident Evil. We did it.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'm looking forward to watching a movie that isn't a Resident Evil movie.
Yeah. 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 Oh, I don't know if I've got the energy to do any what we watched. I've only got two. Fuck it.
We can save them for next week.
I'll put my big boy pants on. I've only got two. I watched Bad Moms, which was alright. It was fine. Quite enjoyed it. Had a few laughs.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at going, I'm going to enjoy watching that at some point.
Yeah.
Not in a rush, but at some point.
It's one of those ones. Donna fancied watching it, and it was like, yeah, okay, cool. If you actually wanted to watch a film, I'll give it a go. So yeah, it was fine, harmless. Kind of ridiculous in aspects, but yeah, no, harmless. And Lego Batman, which had previews this weekend, which I wasn't aware of until like Thursday or Friday. I was very excited. Comes out in the UK and US on Friday. It's good. It is good. It's not great. It's very good. Drags in the middle.
Yeah.
The whole hero learns a lesson thing that happens in kids' films seems to happen twice in this. It's like he learns it, and then there's about 10 minutes or so, and he seems to forget it, and then he has to learn it again. And it basically added 10 to 15 minutes.
Is that intentional, do you reckon?
No, I don't think it was. No, because they're actually trying to make an arc for Lego Batman here, which just saying that sounds ridiculous, and it kind of is. I don't want to say too much about the story, because there's some fun things going on, but it's basically the Joker being pissed off by the fact that Batman doesn't admit that he's his biggest enemy. And it's like an inferiority complex thing, and how both Batman and the Joker deal with it. And then along the way, Batman like accidentally adopts Robin, and it kind of goes from there. There's a solid hit rate on the gags. I just don't want to say too much, because there's some fun stuff in there. But I think I like it more than the Lego Movie, but I almost don't like the Lego Movie as much as I think I should, because of all the hype that went around it when it came out.
I enjoyed it a lot when I first watched it, and I've enjoyed it less the other two times I've watched it.
Fair enough.
But not to the point of where I didn't like it. I still think it's very good, but it was just not as good.
That's fair enough. I mean, there's some DC baiting stuff which I'm kind of stunned they allowed in here. There's a very big Suicide Squad was a fucking dumb idea thing in there, which I thought was kind of stunning, actually. But it's fun. Will Arnett is very good in it, as you kind of expect him to be. And Zach Galifianakis as the Joker is actually really, really good as well. Gets it. I think he gets it right. People will enjoy it. It does feel like empty calories, but a very satisfying empty calories. It doesn't have.
I get what you mean.
It doesn't have that message in the Lego Movie, the weird message of not following the instructions and not going along a pre-described thing. The main moral of this one is friends are family. And, which is quite a basic moral. But there's fun stuff in here. There's a lot of adult-aimed gags. The kids in my screening seemed pretty restless at points. I kind of wonder if they've maybe gone a bit too far on the let's appeal to the like hip adults in the room rather than the kids aspect. Because that's the thing with the Lego Movie. I always get the sense that like parents enjoyed that more than kids did.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, like, it kind of seems like they swerved into that with this a bit, but you know, I didn't hate it. 4 out of 5, really, really solid. Can already see people going nuts over it, and I don't think it's that good.
One of those.
But it's you know it's
good.
It's a solid 90 minutes. It's just I don't think it's anything more than that.
Cool.
There you go. That's it. So next week is 50 Shades Darker. Oh, do we have Twitter questions?
It is indeed. I think we've got a Twitter question. Yes. Bear me 2 seconds. Oh, and by the way, the feature film poll for Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. Yes. Definitely not shit. 56%. Touching cloth 11%, and shit 33%.
Fair enough.
Question, Ginger Prince, TGB73. What's the biggest item of food/drink you've ever smuggled into a cinema?
Bottle of wine.
A bottle of wine?
Yeah, Donna and I had a bottle of wine to ourselves during the third Pirates of the Caribbean film.
Bravo, that's impressive.
Yeah.
What were glasses? Glasses?
Actually, yeah.
That's good. Did me and you sneak in a 2-litre bottle of Pepsi into a film at Fright Fest, I think?
Oh, man, I was doing that all fucking weekend at Fright Fest. That one weekend when I had the Jack.
Yeah, with a Jack and a 2-litre bottle of Pepsi. Kept on topping it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably mine. I'm not a big cinema eater or anything, and I don't tend to drink in the cinema. If I do, I only drink for the last hour of a movie.
Yeah. No, yeah. Your bladder's not quite fit for purpose, is it?
It's not, no. I know that I can hold. I know I can hold it for like an hour, so I'm all right for the last hour of a movie, just unless I misjudge it, like the Everest incident or anything like that. So yeah, that'd be mine. I used to do the thing constantly of putting the pick and mix down on the scales and still holding on to it and just letting it touch the scales slightly so that they went, oh, that's 95p, and then if you'd actually let go of it, it'd be like 18 quid or something like that. I used to do that quite frequently. Those are the days.
Nice.
But yeah, that was our only Twitter question.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Thanks, Steve. So yeah, 50 Shades Darker next week.
Nobody gives a fuck.
That's the fascinating thing about it, isn't it? No one cares.
No PR for it at all. I saw a trailer for it the other day and thought, fuck, that's out.
Yeah. And they shot the 2 sequels back to back as well, so they're going to have to release the third one.
Yeah, Bex literally turned out to me and said, nobody in the world apart from you gives a fuck about those movies anymore.
I mean, the thing is, I'm interested because the trailer is like, who's the ghosty woman who's around? You know, it's like, yeah, fine, why not?
Yeah, I'm up for it. Oh, while I remember, one quick bit I forgot to mention that I hope you appreciate in this from our review of T2.
Yeah.
Trainspotting. The magnificent shot of when Renton first goes back to his parents' house and he's sat with his dad, and there's the shot from behind of him sat and his dad sat, and the shadow that Renton projects onto the wall is where his mum used to sit.
Yeah.
It's a glorious shot.
Very nice.
That literally gave me pretty goosebumps sat in the cinema.
Fair shout.
It was magnificent, yeah. We'd forgotten to mention it, and I thought, I can't not mention how beautiful a shot that is.
That's a fair shout.
So yeah, that's it. Still think about that movie.
Yeah, no, fair dues. Yeah, 50 Shades Darker, no one cares, but we're going to review it anyway.
Yep.
And that will do it. Hope you enjoyed this episode through meandering go through the Resident Evil films, which is no less than it deserves.
Yep.
I've been Ian Loring. He's been Mark Foster.
Thank you very much, people.
Bye-bye.
Bye.